I recently, good start, got a Pokemon Yellow cartridge from my neighbour. He said he's never played the game and doesn't care about Pokemon in general. I took a look at the cartridge and saw PY written on the front with no picture of Pikachu. I shrooged and assumed it meant Pokemon Yellow, and I went home. I plugged in the cartridge to my Game Boy Advanced, and the intro came with Pikachu running around happily, and then the picture of Pikachu popped up with the date on the bottom, and it all glitched out saying 19999999999999. The option continue pops though my friend had never played it. I pressed continue to see what was up. The player's name Dylan showed with 3 badges and 26 hours played. Seems a bit long for just 3 badges. Anyway, I started playing and appeared in Pokemon Tower. The music was gone, making things creepier than Lavender Town usually is. The screen was quite glitched and I could not play with this much obscurity. But I decided to leave the tower and headed towards the Pokemon Center. When I went inside and talked to the nurse, she said her normal stuff, so I clicked heal. That's when it said Bulbasaur fainted and Blastoise fainted. I was so curious I checked my Pokemon and sure enough they were fainted. I left Lavender Town before I found a trainer battle. It said it's not even through the Pokemon Blastoise, which was not even a Blastoise at all. It was a Squirtle, but the Pokemon had no HP and fainted immediately. Then with the immediately spelled wrong. Then with no Choi is a Bulbasaur, which was a Bulbasaur, and he fainted immediately too. Immediately still spelled wrong. I need a momentary break. I apologise. Okay. Then Pikachu was sent out, and I used Thunder on the enemy's Raticate. Then the battle ended. I got bored and started a new game. It played normally, no major M-A-Y-J-O-R major glitches or anything until I got to the Elite Four. When I stated the first battle, the game froze. I restarted and the only option was to continue. I pressed continue and ended up on Dylan's file and was not in Lavender Town. Instead I was on Cinnabar Island and Dylan had 5 missing and a Pokemon called Dead. I checked the Pokemon and it was a Pikachu with nothing wrong, no glitches, no Kleki, Gar and blood, just a Pikachu. After checking the Pokemon, Pikachu reappeared to follow me, so I talked to it. It said, "Find Dylan." So I went to my neighbours and asked who Dylan was. He said it was a kid at school in one of his classes, so the next day at school I found my friend and he led me to Dylan. We talked about the game and he said he's never heard of it. I showed him the cartridge and when he saw the letters PY he yanked it out of my hand and stomped on it until it was unusable. He walked off and my neighbour said he had a second copy I could have, so he gave it to me too, and I played it until I was in the Pokemon Tower where I faced my rival, whose name was changed to Dylan PY. The battle started and then my Pikachu was sent out. The Pikachu's move had been changed to DYLAN and PY. When I used the moves it was always a one-hit kill. Then the rival said, "Do you know what it's like to lose someone?" and the froze. I learned later Dylan lost both his parents in a car accident while he was playing Pokemon Yellow. End of story! Wow! Masterpiece. 10 out of 10.